Hi guys, it's time to do another book reading. Today we are doing The Haunting of Tram 015 by Djeli Clark. I got smart and actually found interviews of him and heard him say his own name. That's my new go-to. If I don't know how to say somebody's name, I'm going to try and find an interview where they say their own name, because you gotta, pretty sure that's correct. Can't believe I didn't think of that earlier. Anyway, I'm going to do a book reading. Scroll if you gotta scroll. I'd love you to stay, but if you gotta go, you gotta go. You know what I mean? So this little novella was lovely, as Mr. Clark's work always is. He tackles so many issues with such humor and such wryness, and without making it a black or white issue, but a weird mix of grays that we find ourselves in. And it's just so many little things. I read it twice, and the second time I found so many little more inferences just about the rights and wrongs of, I feel like there were notes about there's colonization in here, there is servitude issues in here, there is a lot of feminist stuff in here, which I loved. It's a really good read. He cannot write a bad book. I swear to God. I've got one more to read for him this month. I'm going to save it to the end so we space him out. But really, really solid stuff. This is an amazing little book. Write a novella, guys. Just keep it tight. Keep the rhythm good. Like, don't make the book longer than it needs to be. This is what I'm learning from Mr. Clark. All right. Has everyone had time to scroll? Say I wanted to scroll? Okay. Let's get to the reading. Ansi inhaled in excitement. You've been reading some of the recent Copic philosophers and applications of Thomas Aquinas' studies on Al-Jahi's writing about the Djinn, she exclaimed. Alba merely wriggled her fingers. I've dabbled. Here's what I think. The spirit was just a formless being minding its own business, and then it encountered men. And they decided to make it this beautiful woman or this monstrous crone, because that's the only way many men can even view women. They were looking for a way to explain why their wives died in childbirth or why their infants died in their blankets. Maybe they were just afraid of old women. So they made up this owl, conjured it up as a woman, and blamed her. Hamed's head was spinning. That people, men at that, were responsible for some child-stealing spirit boggled his mind, but Alba appeared thoroughly convinced by her reasoning. Fascinating theory, Ansai commended, except, Hamed put in, that if what you say is possible, women could have thought up the owl just as easily. Alba shook her head sternly. No woman would ever think up something so ridiculous. I love that. I love that so much. Just the way he put the problem out there and then turned it at the end. I think that last statement where she said no woman would ever think of something so ridiculous is just, A, first of all, it screams of classic literature. And B, it just makes you think about everyone's prejudices within the conversation that they're having, and puts you back in that world of gray that makes you think about it and doesn't let you sit comfortably. And that is what good fiction does. I love this. I love this so much. 5 stars. Go buy the book. It is P. Djeli Clark, The Haunting of Tramcar 015. Ta-da!